This is 5-Minute Feng Shui podcast episode 125. Spring Feng Shui rituals that purify, release, and energize. Welcome to the 5-Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Hello, 5-Minute Feng Shui listener. Thank you so much for being with me today. It is officially the start of spring. Last weekend, I think was Saturday, was the official start of spring, and it's looking very springy all around me, and it's nice to see. After our Snowmageddon, the crazy winter weather that we had just a month ago, which is hard to believe it was a month ago, but it is, and it's all behind us. And now trees are blooming, and we've got flowers popping up here and there, and that's just a heartwarming kind of feeling to see all that vibrancy and that new growth. It's something that always stirs something in me to want to grow myself. And I'm going to be talking to you today about some springtime Feng Shui rituals that I think you're going to love to hear about. We're going to talk about how to purify, release, and energize, and some ways to do that maybe you haven't thought about before. But before we get started, though, I want to talk about some of my listeners who many of them are in the Down Under. New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, so many. In fact, I just recently, speaking of Africa, had a subscriber from Nairobi. We're getting more and more subscribers from Africa. It's really exciting to see all the wonderful destinations from all over the world who read my easing every week. And so thank you if you are from Down Under. I know that this is not about springtime for you. It's about fall. And this is a season that still is a beautiful season. The trees are turning colors. It's a shortening of the day. The sunlight turns more golden. I love that golden sunlight of the fall. And if you are in New South Wales, hopefully as I'm talking about this, recently there's been a lot of flooding. I hope you're all okay, especially if you're listening to this podcast. I just want you to know that I love my Down Under folks, and I thank you for being part of my podcast and for listening. And there are so many wonderful emails that I get all the time. But here closer to home, I received an email and I wanted to read it to you. It's from Alexandra from Quebec, Canada. And she writes, "Hi, Katie. I just wanted to let you know that I really enjoy your 5-Minute Feng Shui podcast. You have a gift for simplifying and sharing Feng Shui tips that really work. I actually have a success story I want to share with you that helped me and my mom receive new opportunities from the tips on one of your podcast episodes. I was lacking support in general, but also in my career, and needed to do something about it. So I decided to redecorate my living room and also buy myself a bed headboard. The next day, I received good news from my boss saying that he was going to give me more hours at my current job. My mom also wanted to try it, so she purchased some new furniture in her living space, painted the walls with some new paint, put up some new artwork on the walls, and realigned her whole living space. The same week, she got a call from her current job and received a promotion at work. Amazing! We're really happy to say Feng Shui does work. Thanks again for your great advice. We will be listening to your future episodes. By the way, I'd love to hear more about attracting a soulmate in your life." Alexandra from Quebec, Canada. Well, thank you, my neighbor to the north. I am so happy to hear from you. So thrilled to know that this has been something that's worked for both you and your mom. That's thrilling. And yes, be listening for a future episode on attracting a soulmate, because there's a special technique I want to share with you that is something that you can do just for not romance, but attracting that soulmate, that one true person, your other half, as they say. All right. Well, thank you for writing in. I always love to hear from you. If you want to drop me a note, please do. And if you feel like it, leave a review on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen to 5-Minute Feng Shui. So let's get started talking about spring rituals. Obviously, one of the rituals that comes up when you think about springtime is planting. And even if you're in the fall zone right now and under the equator, maybe you start planting your bulbs like for narcissus or tulips so that they'll come up in the spring when we start heading into fall here above the equator. But this is a great time for re-energizing your life. In fact, if you hear some noise today in the background, it's because we are renovating our kitchen. Let me tell you, we've got so much going on. It's a 3-ring circus here. We've got landscaping plans that we're putting into place. We've got a kitchen renovation going, and there is all kinds of action and activity around Katie's house. But I love it. I love the idea that we are re-energizing our homes, especially at a time when the world is waking up, especially the world around us, the natural world. Leaves are coming out on the trees. There's beautiful flowers popping up. We're seeing signs of growth. More birds are chirping. I love that. And this is a really nice time to look at your own life and where can you get some new growth, new energy, and new movement, and to grow with the season. This is something that I love about Feng Shui, and that's if you work with it, it works with you. Now, if you just sit back and move a frog here or there, and that's okay, you can do that. I do think some things will work, absolutely. But when you put your effort into your feng shui and you put it into your life, as well as doing things on the feng shui front, man, you double your chances of seeing great results. Just look at Alexandra from Quebec, what she did. She had a very intentional design to make a change. And look what happened. A change happened. I love that. Now, obviously, the springtime is the time that holds this energy of ripening chi. This is the type of chi that has the most potential, just like springtime does, right? And there's rituals and activities that are perfectly suited for the spring season. Now, the energy of the sun obviously begins growing stronger as the days become longer, and the earth shows that growing energy from the blooming flowers and the trees sprouting new bright green leaves. You see nature waking up again. The grass starts to grow and birds are chirping. It's wonderful. I'm in a second floor home office, and when I look out my windows, and all one side of my office is windows, which is lovely, and I am looking out at the treetops, and I can see bird nests and hear the babies chirping. I love that, and that energizes me too, just to hear that. So let's talk about some suggestions that I have for creating some new growth energy and to work with the growing and ripening chi of springtime. So the first thing that comes to mind is, well, do you have room to grow? This is a important concept because there's an old Chinese saying that you can't fill a full cup. And it's true, because if you have nowhere to grow, then you might not grow. Just think of it like this. Over time, potted plants can become too large for their pots and they become root bound. And if they're not transplanted to a new larger pot, or maybe you cut the plant down, maybe cut it in half, it's not going to continue to flourish and grow, but it's going to start a decline in its energy and maybe even start to decay. It may not be able to grow anymore because it's root bound. And that can happen to you. That can happen to us. Look around and think about where you're cramped in your life and home. Where is it that you feel confined? Maybe your home is simply too small. Maybe you need a larger space. Or maybe you've got a closet that's overstuffed and you can't find anything. It is absolutely true. It's a wonderful feeling to pull open, let's say, your dresser drawer, and you've got, all kinds of tops or clothes in there to choose from. But have you ever noticed that if the drawer is completely full, you can't find anything, but yet everything's in there? It's a dichotomy, is it not? It's a conundrum. But it's so important that we look at where you feel cramped or where we feel confined, and you find ways to open up your space in your home so that you can find new space to grow in your life. Remember, your home is just a reflection of your life. And so if there's no room to grow, well, then your life is going to feel like it has no room to grow. So maybe think about moving if your house is just too small, or maybe it's just not suited for you. Look at where those cramped areas are in your home and how they may show up in your life. For instance, a tight closet in the north career corner could point to a job that's taken you as far as it can. Or maybe your messy, cramped home office in the southwest love corner could point to a neglected love life. It's important that we find ways to create space in our homes so that we can create growth in our life. So look at the back wall and look at the 8 areas of life. So whether that's north, career, and income and opportunity, or northeast for wisdom, education. It's also a personal growth corner, the northeast is. East is health, it's family, and southeast is wealth, income, new sources of financial support. The south is success, material success, fame, recognition, your social life. The southwest is obviously your love, your relationships, your marriage, your partnership. The west is children and creative projects. And the northwest is the sector of the heaven energy or helpful people. It is the sector of a man. So maybe if you're looking for that male energy in your life, like Alexandra was looking for a soulmate, I'm presuming, of course, that's what she's looking for. But that corner relates to the heaven energy and to people in your life who come to help you, because we all need people who helped us. So think about your house. Look around, see where's there a mess, even the hidden messes. Just because it doesn't look messy until you open the closet door or open the drawer, just because it doesn't look that way until you open the closet or open the drawer, doesn't mean it's not impacting you. In fact, hidden messes are sometimes more subtle and a little bit more profound in the way they can actually undermine you versus becoming an absolute block in that area. So look at any areas and just see what those areas of your home, how they relate. Now let's talk about the moon. As I'm talking to you today, we are in just a few days before the full moon. The full moon is on Sunday, and it's going to be a beautiful moon, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to it. But this is an opportunity. Whenever you are working with moon energy, especially as it's a waxing moon, meaning it's a growing moon, this is an opportunity to put things into play, to make plans, to start new endeavors. And then once the moon is full, is to see this blossoming effect of all that you've done to create this new growth. And a waning moon is that moon that is growing smaller until it becomes the new moon, the dark moon. And that waxing moon is a good time to reflect. It's a good time to purge, to cleanse, to release. So some of this items and things that we're going to be talking about today are things that you can time with the moon. So let's talk about the timing of the moon. The timing of the full moon is a really important aspect in following the astrology of Feng Shui. And I love the idea that you can energize the crystals around your home. So if you love crystals, maybe you've got some amethysts around or a quartz heart, any kind of crystals that you have, it's wonderful to bathe them in sunlight. It energizes and purifies. But the moonlight is especially helpful for any type of gems or crystals that have connections or feelings of love, or that you place to ground your romantic life. So for instance, maybe you put a geode under the woman's side of the bed, which is the right side as you're laying in the bed, or left as you're looking at the bed. And you can put a geode out in the moonlight and let it bathe that moon energy to give your relationship and your love life more attention, to give it more tender feelings, to watch it blossom. It's a wonderful way to energize your crystals. So get your gemstones together, especially if you have any of those in the southwest sector of love. It's also a great idea to put, if you've got a wedding ring or a diamond ring or gemstone jewelry that you wear, to put those on a windowsill or somewhere where they can catch that moonlight. It's a wonderful way to just bathe your crystals. And it's also nice to take a moon bath as well. You can go out and take a moon bath. If you're feeling like you're low on those loving feelings, this is a great way to energize yourself. You and your sweetie go on a walk, a moonlit walk. There is nothing better. Absolutely. All right, let's talk about adding intention. This is so important when you're working on something around your home that you're trying to accomplish, whether that's renovating an area like I am with my kitchen, or maybe you're just trying to purge your closet. There's stuff in there that's been around for way too long, or you just want to do a good thorough cleaning. It's so important to consider thoughtfully what you're doing as you're cleaning, as you're clearing, or you're refurbishing or renovating. If you're tossing out old items for your closet, think about how you're making more space and what those items once meant to you. Do that too as you make new home improvements. Think intentionally about your new decorating or renovation. Think about how you'll feel when it's complete. Visualize it. And think about what you're releasing as you create a new look or a change in your home. Maybe you're releasing, like for me, my old kitchen was a kitchen that was suited for someone who didn't really like to cook, but they wanted a nice kitchen. It's one of these kitchens that it looked good, but it just didn't really work well. I want something that not only looks great, I want it to work great. It's sort of like having that, like a shell of a car. You have a Jaguar, but there's no motor in it. It was kind of like that. I thought the kitchen was nice. There were some things about it, though, that I did keep from my new kitchen. For instance, I love the appliance garages. I had we all have little appliances and that kind of thing that we have on the countertops, maybe a blender for making your smoothies and a toaster and that, but I didn't like seeing them. Well, this particular kitchen had appliance garages where I could open the doors. There were doors on top of the countertops, and I could hide those away, which I love because I use those small appliances. I just didn't want to see them every day. So be thinking about what it is you're taking, maybe, or that you're releasing. So this old kitchen was one that didn't really work that well, but there's some things that I'm taking from it. So there's still a little thread about it. And I'm ready to release that old kitchen that it doesn't support me in the way I like to cook, and I am bringing in a new kitchen that supports me and the way I like to cook and the way I like to organize. And I will be bringing a couple of things, like I said, those appliance garages, which I am excited about. I love having the appliances out but not seeing them. But I'm thinking intentionally about what it is that I am looking to gain from this new renovation that we're doing. I want you to think about, reflect on those reasons, why you're cleaning or purging, why you're creating this new look in your home, and how you want to release the old stale energy and bring in the new, fresh, and invigorated Shui. So powerful to do this here at the change of seasons. So go into each corner of your home, knowing that you're cleaning the wisdom area, for instance, with the intention of thinking more clearly or making decisions more easily or having greater memory and recall. So think about each of those corners and where you're making those changes and what you would like to see happen as a result of making those changes. Now let's talk about cleansing and clearing. Obviously, spring and the fall is the perfect time to clean and clear your home. We are opening up our homes again as the springtime comes in, and it's also good to clean it and really clear it well, especially as fall comes in, because this is an opportunity to, your house may be shut up, the windows are closed as the temperatures change, and we're just not as open and as we don't spend as much time outdoors. So when we close our homes up for the fall, it's nice to have a nicely cleaned home. The same thing is true as we begin to open the windows again and have that indoor-outdoor living. We want to have a cleansing and a clearing. So a thorough purge and a cleaning can create new energetic openings that will fill you with some optimism and that create pathways for opportunities. This is what I love. This is exactly what Alexandra wrote about in her lovely note to me about how that she wanted to make some changes and refresh, like her mom changed her living room furniture around and she got a promotion. I mean, this is exciting. This is what I'm talking about when you're thinking about making changes in your home, is that it's breaking up energy that's become stagnant and still, and it's cleaning it, it's refreshing it, it's changing it around a little bit, and that bumps up energy. If you can, do a thorough deep cleaning. It's so good to do that twice a year. I really love to see that done at spring and in fall. And try to use essentials or cleaners with essential oils like lemon or eucalyptus and lavender. They really freshen and clean and energize your space too. And they have that very natural scent. Because one of the things that I noticed that at fall and spring is that we want to have that thread of continuity with nature through whatever we're doing in our homes. And I find that to be such a way of reconnecting with nature. Because so often when we're working on our computers or at our desks or whatever it is that we're doing in our day-to-day lives, we sometimes don't always feel that connection with nature. And that's one thing that has been something that people have turned to, especially during the pandemic. And to have that little connection with nature and that growing energy and that blossoming energy, I think is such a powerful thing to have in your home, to have in your person. Now let's talk about cleansing your bed and your bedroom. So important. In addition to your living areas, you want to make sure that you cleanse your bed and cleanse your bathroom or bedroom, because this is where you spend 1/3 of your life. I can't say enough about, yes, it's great to do a deep clean on your kitchen. You should, and a deep clean in the living room, but your bedroom needs extra special attention. I really like to see the room be opened up, get all the mattress pads and linens and give them a good airing out. Maybe take them to your laundry and have them cleaned. Vacuum the bed, spray the bed and the mattress with some essential oils just to refresh it a little bit. And one of my favorite things to do is to purify and release with wind. I can't say how much I love wind. Wind is something that we don't often talk about in Feng Shui, even though the word Feng in Feng Shui, it means wind. Wind is another way of saying qi. And this is what I find very exciting about the idea about wind. You don't often hear about using wind as a purifier, to use wind as a cleaner, but you can. And I think that it's important that we open up our windows and let fresh air in and let the fresh air go through our entire house. If you can do a deep cleaning and purging, maybe create a little ritual on a breezy day, because the wind will clear away old stagnant energy, just the way a storm is followed by sunshine and air that feels fresh and clean. Now you can do this at the time of maybe when you finish a renovation or redecoration, to signify the renewal and a new beginning. So to release and purify your personal energy, think about opening all the windows in the bedroom and your house, and allowing that wind to go through it. Now you can do this for yourself too, just to purge your own energy. If you can find a day where there's a nice breeze, just go and consciously let that breeze blow over you and take a wind bath. I love this idea of creating a wind bath for myself, just like a moon bath or a sunbathing we've heard about, tree bathing. You know, you can bathe in so many more ways than just in a bath or in under the sun. We can bathe in the moon, bathe in the wind. I think the idea is to let that wind take out old energy. Now, to release with the wind, I would recommend creating like a little spot on a table and to light a candle, maybe light some incense such as sage, and have a small vase of flowers. And then open up all the windows and allow the smoke to blow through your house or your newly decorated room or cleaned home, wherever you have made a change, to signify and to you are releasing and renewing. Let that smoke blow with the wind throughout your house. It's purifying, and it will release old, stale energies, and it will welcome new ones into your home and life. Well, if you do this, hey, let me know how it went. I'd love to hear if you took a wind bath or if you've done a little ritual to signify the growth and renewal in your home and your life, and opened up space for it so that you can grow. And as always, I want to leave you with 3 tips. So today we're going to talk about tip number 1, look around. Where do you feel cramped? Where is your eye confined? Where do you feel like you're lacking growth in your life? That's the area to tackle. Look, maybe you've got a closet that's rammed full, and maybe it just needs to be pared down significantly. Make sure that you do that, because it's going to open up opportunities for new clothes to come in. And hey, that's never a bad thing. All right, tip number 2, be intentional about your changes. Be thinking about what you're releasing and what you're welcoming into your life, and feel that release, and feel that new change and that growth, or whatever it is that you're doing. If you're redecorating or just purging and cleaning is such a wonderful thing. Be thoughtful and intentional about it. It really will make you feel so energized. The last is to purify and release with wind. This is a great element, and one that's way underutilized. I love the idea of using the wind as a way to purify, to release, to clear. And you can use it for yourself. You can use it for your home. We know that we can use it to release wishes. Maybe if you have a wish that you would like to release into the wind, maybe get one of those wish balloons the lanterns that you can write your wish and light it, and then it goes up into the sky, burns up, and takes your wishes with it. I love that idea, and it's carried on the wind. There's something about the wind. Think about Tibetan flags that blow in the wind. One of the reasons that they're there is for the wind. It's letting the wind carry those thoughts and beautiful messages and prayers. All right, then, well, there you have it. Another episode of 5 Minute Feng Shui has already come and gone so quickly. I can't wait to talk to you again next week. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you on the next episode of 5 Minute Feng Shui.